Hello and welcome to this month's staff update. I'm Brooklyn Coffin. I'm joined here by Superintendent Dr. Fay. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for being so welcoming.
Before we go any further, let's recognize some huge accomplishments that occurred just this week. Coach Wigington from Heritage was named president of Texas High School Coaches Association, and our very own Mallet Head group participated in the Nationals final pitch competition. Congratulations. We need to remind everyone that the insurance enrollment is open for all returning employees. You should have an email from Kara Himley with all the details. Please get that completed ASAP. You should also have 2 emails with your compliance training requirement from the year. One is from Shore Heathcote and another one from Leslie Garicani. Finally, be aware that emails changed this summer for MISD employees who were here prior to 2018. Everyone is now a firstname.lastname@misd.gs. Dr. Fay, why don't we begin with talking about the junior ROTC program that was added at the high school level?
So we had a request, I believe from our Board of Trustees for many years now, to try to engage in a conversation around bringing ROTC programs to the district. And so that was a clear priority when we came in. And so we assembled a team to start looking into that, and our board approved for us to have an ROTC program beginning this next year. And so I believe from what the student course selections were from last year is that we had about 58 students district-wide that aspired to be in an ROTC program. And so we are moving forward with that. We're still in the planning stages of what that will look like for the district, but very excited to be bringing ROTC to the system. And so it's we've had it in another system where I worked, and probably one of the most important programs in the school. So I'm excited about that.
We also received ESSER funds. What exactly is that?
So ESSER funds are funds that are given to us by the federal government through one of their big bills that they passed to try to help public education or education across America deal with the COVID slide, is what they're calling it. And so we're all aware that for the past year and a half, it's been very different in public ed, and how our kids are learning and the types of platforms that we're having to get used to as teachers and educators. And so in that mix, while we're all learning and adjusting, our kids have been at the end of that, trying to learn the best that they can in that environment. And so, we do have some students who have thrived in this new environment, and we've had some students who have not. And so those funds are designed to help school districts basically help teachers fill gaps of kids that may have lost some things along that pandemic route. And so we're excited to get those funds. We're putting some things into place with intervention that will be a true help to campuses. And while there will be a direct, the expectation is to have a direct impact on student outcomes, and especially those students who didn't perform as well as others on the STAR exam, which is the state assessment. So we're in a good place with that. There's a lot of work that's going to happen at the campus level for transition, students that are transitioning maybe from 5th grade to 6th grade, especially students from 8th and 9th grade, and then all along the way. So campus is working for the intention within their own campuses, and then campuses having to work across campuses. And so that's we're pulling back on some of the kind of professional development expectations of our staff so that our principals and teachers can get to the work that's required to use those funds for acceleration of students. And so it's a lot of work, a lot of requirements, but I know that the MISD staff can handle that.
Yeah. And we'll have, again, the Mentors Care program in our schools. I know they do such a great job. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so Mentors Care was approved this past Monday night. And so I don't know a lot about it, to be very truthful and honest, but I do know enough to know that it is very important for me to have programs in our buildings for kids that our principals can truly support. And that was very evident when we pulled back originally. My whole intention with pulling back with that being taken to the board was to make sure that principals were going to be invested in that program so that we could support it wholeheartedly. I'm happy to say that we will support it wholeheartedly. We did have people come to public comments and speak about the program, and I think that the kids that came to speak about the program is really unique and a good place to be, and so I'm very happy that our board approved that MOU to go through. So.
I know we have a new principal at Mountain Peak, and we also have some new faces and people in different roles in the central office. Do you want to go ahead and introduce us to them?
Yeah, and so most people are not new to the system, and I'm happy about that. I'm a big believer in trying to grow our own at MISD, and so we will do some things fairly quickly, and we will be very intentional about growing leadership in the system in the next couple of years. But Adam Hinkie has been in our system for a few years. He did go through a very rigorous selection process when the original job opening at Mountain Peak came. But instead of going through that entire selection process again, I decided to take kind of a non-traditional route in making that decision with my staff. And what I did was I met with the teaching staff there, and I met with the community, and we did some survey data around that. And so clearly evident to me that Adam is a good selection to lead that campus. And sometimes you may not have experience in that role, but how do you get it unless someone gives you that chance? And so Adam will be the first principal that I hire at MISD. I'm very excited to work with him and help him grow. On that note, we did elevate Dr. Williams to a new role, and then we have onboarded the deputy superintendent, which is Darren Casper, so he'll be joining us from San Antonio. Dr. Williams will actually be helping us launch a true support system for principals this year, to be more of a thought partner to them and to coach them and to be on campuses helping them navigate and provide solutions to issues that arise, so that we can achieve at the very highest levels in the state of Texas. The deputy superintendent will work directly with me to help support the evaluation of principals, and so we're working through what that looks like right now and trying to build a collaborative structure through curriculum and instruction, so that we have a true line of support for principals that is going to be have a direct feed to the curriculum instruction department, so that we know that our teachers are getting what they need to get and our leaders are getting what they need to get. And so it's a bold move on my end, but work that I firmly believe in. And so I will actually help people. I will actually have people in the system now that will help me build out a true talent pipeline for leadership, and I'm excited about that. We also have Becky Krisnak, who was promoted, and so we did update y'all, I think, last week, the last update, where we had promoted Shelley Blaylock to an assistant superintendent. So that has created, kind of a domino effect, but instead of replacing individual roles that existed, we decided to take a look at curriculum instruction, and at the recommendation of Ms. Blaylock, we decided to elevate Becky Krisnak, who is ready for some additional responsibilities and leadership, so that we don't miss a beat in this next year, while we're really trying to decide how does central office need to be structured more appropriately to support campuses and to support learning on campuses. And also we have Lewis Nguyen, who is Director of Technology, and he is actually joining us from Austin, the Austin area, and lots of years of experience in leading technology in a bigger system. I believe he was in Austin ISD. He has a huge background in cybersecurity, and that's a big deal right now, and happy for him to be joining our team as we not only increase the capacity within our technology department, but that we're able to provide some guidance to our cybersecurity program that we have for students. So I'm excited about having him join us.
That's so awesome. This time next month, everyone's going to be in school. I know I'm so excited. My question is, what's going to excite you the most about everybody coming back this next month?
The most exciting thing about August 16th will be that we have all of our students back in our buildings and in our schools. And I'm so happy for that. I've had some good experiences over the summer interacting with the students at MISD, and my hope is that I get to spend a lot of time on all of our campuses working with staff to ensure that we deliver the best quality education to our kids possible. And so, yeah, that will be, that day cannot come too soon for our community, I think. And I think for, I think in the past, kids are like, oh no, school again. And now I'm hearing we can't wait to get back to school because that's part of some normalcy in their lives. So I'm excited about that.
Me too. That's all the time we have today. Thank you so much, Dr. Fay.
Thank you.